ISP claimed that, hey, we've upped your internet speeds. Restart your modem to find out. See them. So I figured, why not try streaming again? I also was uploading stuff yesterday and looking at the connection. Didn't seem that solid. But anyway, maybe I'll let that go. Oh, I already see red for OBS. There are reasons why I recorded anyway. Alright, so, I should point this out. I'm in Satisfactory this week, after taking last week off because I wasn't here. Sorry, my brain's just blanking out a little. Yeah, not doing Siege of Centauri, doing Satisfactory. Siege of Centauri, I know, yeah, I'm gonna stop the stream, Siege of Centauri didn't get an update this week, at least not yet. I'm doing this on Friday, like I have been today, because it's the stream. It's a little bit before 3 p.m. Normally I would think that I've seen the update by now. But Satisfactory did get an update. In fact, over on the right, it talks about that a little bit. How we're at version 0.2.1.1. There have been some hotfixes. Added a number of things. You won't be able to see, but one thing though is there. Pretty cool. Finally have this one. Yeah, I've been doing this one here. Almost at 140 hours in that. But yeah, so I figured, you know, I'll spend some time here. Just why not? While that's loading, I just want to see like clearing out the stream. And I have not been in this save, by the way, since the week of But speaking of E3, there is a little bit of news concerning something that was announced specifically that so my goal is to do that because I'm going to do everything by hand until I get it. Because it's crazy. Like, crazy stuff. So yeah, so that's actually one change right there is, boom. Now it'll only give you the things that you can actually do. My phone will hold down. That actually is you can also search in there. Main thing that we did is like, oh yes, thank you. You can build, I don't know if I have built it yet in the save, build splitters and mergers to split part of the combined conveyor belt. They are now stackable. So you can build them on top of each other instead of do weird things where you put in a foundation, build on top of that, move the foundation, build underneath them. Yeah. Yes, finally stacked. It does make a lot of things easier. What else? Oh, yeah, no, just focusing on the game. Well, I just realized, I started that one thread really changed. Because I started on my V3 stuff. But then it's like, oh yeah, there are changes here. We also got nuclear power, trains, and aluminum. I haven't really done any of those. Don't want to do nuclear because there's nothing you can do with nuclear waste yet. There are things you can do with nuclear waste in real life. And trains just take a lot of things that don't have automated at high speed. Have been built up. So the E3 that I started on was that AMD announced the new Radeon GPUs at the RX 5000 series. Well, RX 5700 series specifically, though undoubtedly there will be additional entries into a larger 5000 series, like the 800 line, 600 line, maybe 500 line. Part of that announcement was also what the pricing is going to be. And it occurs to me actually on number, let me see, the anniversary edition of the 700 XT, which clocks higher, still uses the same shroud, the same cooler design, the shroud design, but it's a black and gold color instead of black and red. As a 5700 XT. That was announced for $500. The 5700 XT, I'm going off memory, was $450. Then it was $380 for the 5700. What has been maybe more than it's not really that big a problem, but it's well, there are rumors. Technically, there's rumors. However, it does seem like everyone's like, yeah, this is confirmed. NVIDIA card said that they did confirm it in 2 places, confirmed with 2 sources, but still, I think it is very, very safe to say that it is in fact still a rumor. Should be considered as such until Sunday, when, well, tomorrow, technically, because of when this comes out. But that the prices have been dropped. The 5700 XT would be $400. The anniversary edition would be $450, so both those would see a drop of $50. And then the 5700 is $350, so a drop of $30. I think that's what the price is that I saw. I prefer to say, just I don't remember all the numbers, but it's been a few hours. So yeah, that's very interesting. I don't recall them having done something like this before, although at least one person is saying, yeah, they've done this before. I don't know. And it's... See, I honestly was not thinking that it would happen. Because, very simply, it's... You know, you don't want to have... You know, here's the MSRP and then drop it before you release. It can send the wrong signal. That's like, oh yeah, we could have priced it lower, we just didn't. But now, because of the NVIDIA super cards, the RTX 20 series super cards, we're responding to that. It looks like the spin may be that, well, we priced it higher because that way NVIDIA wouldn't go as low as they could, so now we're going lower because we actually could. Possible, yes, I'm not. I don't feel that great about that reasoning. In fact, prices have dropped, I think it's great. Assuming that is true, I will admit though, I don't really intend on getting a hobby. I am very interested. I'm very interested. I do want to follow some stuff concerning it. But I don't really want to spend the money at the moment. Now, I will admit this, though, that if there was a good gaming bundle tied to it, and not just, and I'm not slamming the game, the PC Game Pass thing, Microsoft, I'm not going to slam that. It's just, that's not something I am personally interested in. That's all that is. I am not personally interested in it. Somebody else may be. Good for them. I'm just not among that crowd. But if it was, like, when I got the RX 580 a while ago, where it was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Strange Brigade, and Star Control Origins, it's like, that's a solid, very, very solid offer. That I would have picked. If that's what it was with Navi, I mean, that level of games that's only half of us, obviously, then it's like, yeah, I want to. I would be very happy to spend that. And this doesn't count. If it's, well, no, it shouldn't be this way. But it's Game Pass, so it's like, well, you know, maybe they don't do what they offer, or if they could, in theory, add on to the offer, add more games, add other things to it if they wanted. Then I'd be more tempted. But right now, not so much. I do think, though, will be interesting to see how Navi develops, though. because it is very much worth noting, Navi's a new GPU design, and the RDNA architecture that it... Architecture? Man, architecture is such an umbrella term. But it... RDNA being so new to many developments as well. So yeah, it's just such an umbrella term. It's like considered GCN. GCN initially was an architecture, was the actual chip architecture. But now it's more the instruction set, where Vega uses the GCN instruction set. It also has some stuff that would be used in like the primitive shader and stuff. But and people largely refer to it as GCN because in some ways, I guess, it's still the instruction set it's using is GCN, but it isn't the GCN architecture, it is the Vega architecture. Navi is the RDNA, is using the RDNA architecture as the first instance of that being used. But it's an RDNA has full support for the GCN instruction set, but it's as software gets developed by not only AMD but people outside of AMD, then you can build up better support, better optimization that make it more performant. So yeah, we will have to see what happens with that, because we could find Navi really improved in time with drivers. But it's some new, tightening it, like the 5700 matching or beating the Vega 64, which is nice. And I also just got mine back. Well, sort of. I know I mentioned it on the forum, but I think I mentioned it at least one stream that my reference Vega that I got launched died on me. So I sent that in. The first replacement card I got back failed when I got it. I was just doing some tests and then it just went kaput. So I sent that back. This one that I've gotten, I've had it for a few days now, messing with it. Haven't had an issue with it. I've only been messing with it in the test system. I think it will stay there. I don't think I'm going to bother putting it in the desktop. Yeah, it's and actually it's been pretty useful in some ways, because I've been finding the undervolt for it and discovered an interesting behavior. So I think that the way that Vega handles its clock speed stuff, its boost algorithm, is it tries to use a voltage frequency curve internally, and it places it as a curve, because I found that if I increase the P7 voltage, well, in one case I had it where the voltage was low enough that the, just the fact that I only need 2900, but do something line. Yeah, the focus. Anyway, sorry, I keep losing a little bit of track. But yeah, so even though watching the frequencies, it was staying at like the P6, which is actually, on the reference card, is mainly what I was seeing, but perhaps that was my fault. But when I increased the voltage, it was like P6 is supposed to be 1537 megahertz, and I would see it like 1520, which isn't bad. It's just that I was seeing it at that. So I would, but what I noticed is if I increased the voltage on P7, not touching P6, it would now be running like at 1530 to 1540. If I increase the P7 more, then it will go past the P6 state, which I find a little annoying. Might be some ways I could mess with that. But basically I decided that, you know what, this is around the clock speed I was getting the reference card, and it was fine. So I decided, you know what, yeah, I'll leave it. I tuned it to the undervolt, and I could go lower, but then I wouldn't be able to keep the P6 consistently, I'm guessing. So it's currently undervolted, so they will basically just be a 200 watt card. There. yeah, it's I just in Vegas that we run it lots, and it's NGV at 1537, which I never really saw it go to a higher frequency. The reference card that is. It's like if you look at Vegas 64 efficiency article I did, because that's one place where I actually had the efficiency numbers, the clock frequency, sorry, high efficiency. It typically wasn't going above that P6 state, that even when it was at the stop zone. So yeah, it's like that's the performance I was always getting. So the idea that that I'm only getting P6, the P6 frequency, it's like, yeah, that's fine. I don't know. Oh, because I need to wait somehow so that I'm not using. So yeah, so far pretty happy with Vegas. I should probably try doing some more tests, but it wasn't crashing in Biostrike or TimeSpy stress tests, unless I did things that's like, yeah, I'm pushing. Ran it in F1 2019, which that could be that should also talk about the RTX series at some point. Metro Lab. No, Metro Exodus. I have to remember which ones. Ran the benchmark in that a few times, and it didn't have any issues there either, so yeah, I've been fairly happy with that. It seems like, and it is actually a better undervolt than I had before, so I will, when it becomes relevant, I will put up the new watt amp performance. And also going back to the whole Navi thing, if I pick up a Navi, like spend my own money on it, I'll wait before adding to it. I'll need like a nice Sapphire or Gigabyte. That's the brand of the Vega that I had lately. Power Color with the Red Devils. I know a lot of people have been facing those recently. Yeah. So let's talk about the RTX Super stuff, which I don't have one. Just the news I have. But some of the stuff I've seen, it's kind of funny to me already, in a very specific way, that it's like, yeah, these, the like 2070 Super is better, it's performing like the 2080 did, so roughly in line with the 1080 Ti, and it's kind of much more reasonable cost than either the 2080 or the 2080 Ti were/are. The 2060 Super is performing like the 2070 it did, so it's like that's also good. They also changed the GPU in that enough so that the okay. So yeah, now the 2060 Super will be 8 gig instead of 6 gig. And it's just, and they didn't shoot the prices up with this, which that's really so hard to get. They should have, like if you had actually, if NVIDIA had actually launched the 20 series with that level of performance at those prices, I'm happier because didn't see the launch. It's like, yeah, the 2080 is 1080 Ti level performance, 1080 Ti price. Yes. Okay. Yeah, here they are. So those can now be stacked. Oh, so, So yeah, it's like, I mean, it is good to see that, you know, we're getting these better cards at a better price, but it still is to me, it's like, you could have just like launched these initially. That's just a me thing. Also, I still, yeah, I get it that I'm so looking forward to you whenever you'll be able to just type that in. Well, yes, I do. Sorry, I'm just focusing on both things at the same time. But yeah, anyway, let's, yeah, what if I just, so yeah, the 20 Super Series cars, are the RTX 60 Super, 70 Super, 2080 Super, and what I was seeing, I'm pretty sure it was an ad, was that basically the was that the normal 2070 2080 would be our end of life now, so they are being replaced by the Super versions. The 2060 is not. It's going to occupy a spot below the 2060 Super, which is a little odd, but whatever, works, makes sense. You know, to have another value on it. That's 350. 2060 Super is 400, I think. One thing though that I did see some people praising was the fact that NVIDIA has not decided to come on brain, turn over. Not decided to do the readjustment where it is $100 more and it's overclocked. I think what I saw was saying that they are in fact the lounge editions will be the same price as what the Apple partners are. And, well, at least the MSRPs are set by NVIDIA to be the same, and they're not going to be overclocked. They're not going to be back to which means I personally will just say I like the Super suffix here. I don't like the whole messy product stack that NVIDIA does. And NVIDIA does too. I don't know why, I just thought, yeah. I got a little paranoid, I wanted to make sure I can record it. Yeah, I don't, they did it with, when they added in the 1070 Ti, where it's like having a clear distinction between your products is actually valuable and it's useful, because it gives the idea of choice there. It doesn't muddy things. I mean, true, the fact that the 2070, 2080 are supposedly going to be end of life helps. So they've been replaced. But it's still the 2060 and 2060 Super, that's kind of messy. It's like, why Super? Why couldn't you just gone like 2065, 2075, 2085? Just, Because RTX 2080 Super is not as good to say it's just 2080 box. Yeah. Hopefully, though, they don't test that, but we'll also see, because who knows, maybe I don't recall seeing anything suggesting that there's going to be 2080 Ti Super, or would it be Super Ti? I don't know. Maybe there will be. The 2080 Super, though, is actually launching at the end of the month. It was the 2070 Super and 2060 Super are both coming out July 9th, which that is interesting. That's kind of interesting. Let me just say one thing that's so nice is you can build up enough alternate recipes. You can't use them here, but you can get rid of screws in your automated production. It's so nice because they are annoying because the numbers just don't mesh nicely. Anyway, so it's also interesting how 2070 Super is actually it's so akin to the 2080. It still will be a little bit less performant, is what it looked like. But I just want alright, the 2070 Super is going to draw power. It has a TDP, same TDP as the 2080. So it has bumped up. I think the 2060 Super bumped up as well. Not necessarily that. I don't think it was as much though. It was like from 150 to 175. Whereas the 2070 was like 160 to 200 or something like that. I should really just look. Okay, 2060 is 160 watts, 2060 Super is 175. The 2070 was 175 watts. The 2070 Super is 215. So yes, it did jump up in TDP, which it's one of those funny things, TDP, or just the idea of power usage for these things, because some people are like, oh my god, look at how poorly efficient this thing is. It's like, yeah, it does. It's not very efficient. It is annoying, but the reality also is, when we game, we don't think about it. It's like when we are getting to the performance, the enthusiast performance level, you don't really care how much the electricity is, and also in many places the electricity is cheap. So. Yeah. Now I will grant that as far as efficiency and temperature, that does matter, because we don't want loud fans. If we can avoid those, we like to. So keeping it cool, that's good. But just the actual how much electricity is used, it's not great if you're seeing a lot of power being drawn, but end of the day, it's really gonna upset us. Although true, I did start off by talking about how, yeah, I had the Vega running at 200 watts. Of course, then one thing that does complicate that a little bit is also, like, looking at it, increasing the voltage and going up a bit higher. I noticed that I was already at diminishing returns, where it's like, yeah, to get to like 1560, 1570 megahertz, I'd be pulling with 250 watts. And to me, now I'll let it run at just 200 watts because the cooling is definitely handling that with ease. So it's like, no, I'll just do that. So it does still come down to temperature. But power usage itself, it's no, doesn't really matter that much in general. Unless you also don't have a very powerful power supply. But then, if you're getting an enthusiast graphics card, why not running a more powerful power supply? Seems a little inconsistent. Since they are. Trying to think what else is there? Oh yeah, the F1 2019. I got a little bit of a slow start on that. And I did check it once. I haven't checked it. I checked it once after release. I haven't gone back to check it on something else. The ghosting is still there because, like I said, I did run that test on. I did use the benchmark to test the Vegas 64, and the ghosting is still there. But what I'm not as sure about is the and my brain just turned off again. Is the DirectX 12 in the borderless window being capped at 60? That I never expect to see that still the case or not. And that's just weird to me, because that isn't necessary. There are other DirectX 12 games that they'll go to whatever at borderless, so it's weird. But then it's also weird to have both exclusive full screen and borderless, because in most cases I've seen with DirectX 12, it's you tell a borderless window what it's going to give you is it's 1-to-1. I don't know why it's telling me the time property is. Anyway. Yeah, most of the time with DirectX 12 and Vulkan, an exclusive window and a Borderless window behave identically, so I don't actually know why they go to the way it's an option. Just watching it go on. I can't. I just don't. But yeah, to actually talk about the game itself, it was fun. I really enjoyed the F1 games. I used F1 2017, 2018, I enjoyed all of them. And the thing I try to stress in the review, and I hope that it comes off correctly, and the way I mean it, it is a simulation racing game. It's not an arcade racing game. Those are two different things. I'm more of an arcade racer. I do still enjoy F1, but if you are an arcade racer, and this might not necessarily be what you're looking for. If you're a simulation racer, it's a lot. I didn't get down to some of the team simulation stuff, but it's still it's but yeah, I do enjoy it. It does look really big.
Milestone reached. Long-range transportation, as well as the construction of outposts, is now encouraged. An increased focus on the explore and exploit pillar is recommended. Coal is 125% more efficient than biomass and can be automated.
And also, it's the F2 racing that starts with, and I say this in the review. I never touched on the actual F2 races that you do separately. But I like that introduction because the whole rivalry stuff meant nothing to me. I'm sorry, guys, that do care about F1. I'm not not personally. It's not a sport I follow. So the idea of trying to set like Vettel to be a rival doesn't mean much to me because I don't really know who that person is. But that F2 introduction, where now you do get these two people that you do know about because you dealt with them there, that gives it some weight. That's very helpful. So I like that. I do still like the practice programs, so I wish those were introduced as well in some capacity. So basically a little bit more gameplay training, not just very helpful story stuff for that introductory. That's my feeling. If I think they're playing outside of the streams, I want stuff for down here. It's a good thing. One of the changes that these and those are the same cost as are these. The 1 meter height, which, by the way, they're 1 meter in height because of the train station stuff. Because the platforms, in order to make sure that you have things level there, you need 1 meter, so 7 meters. Oh, jeez. It's all the way up there. And it's R3, but it's still. Oh, man. Progress, go ahead and point to them. That came out this past week? I don't remember. I know the 3 things. Oh yeah, the My Fan Pedro, but I already talked about that. I guess really the only thing talked about. Yeah, it's kind of funny. My brother was talking about last week about how he's thinking he might be him to upgrade his computer, which would just translate to he needs to build a new one. Which is because there's something he needs to be able to do. Just not the easiest thing to do. He got. It was a while. Made Star Wars cases for their Aurora desktops, and he got one. And this was back before Dell purchased Alienware, as I recall. But he got one. He's been trying to continue using that case, which, unfortunately, the reality of these cases, at least his, is that they look nice. Realistically, though, I mean, it's just they're not the best interior. The interiors are not really the best design. And for like putting a new system in there. Please pop. This is that's such a I told him that. I mean, true, it could be expensive, but he might be better off just trying to take the panels off and keeping those, because that's the special part, is the exterior panels. The interior isn't that great. And it's also weird where it's like, I think it's a fairly large case physically, but it's only an MATX board, if I remember correctly, that was in there. I mean, it's just kind of weird. And also, the motherboard itself wasn't that great of one. Like the mother... I don't remember if it's 2 DIMM slots or 4 that he had, but it also couldn't handle more than 3 gig. And it's like, this wasn't a CPU thing. This was the motherboard BIOS. Cannot address more than 3 gig. Yeah. I didn't know that was really a thing, but that also tells you how old that system is. Currently, what he's running in there, I don't remember if he actually changed the motherboard in it or not at the time, is a AMD FX 8350, so that 8-core bulldozer processor. I don't remember how much what the clock speed was for that. We don't really care. But it's like, hey, in a way, this is a good time. Good time for you if you want to build, because come Sunday, many new processors, 5, I think it is. 3600, 3600X, 3700, 3800, yeah, and 3900X. 3700X, 3800X, 3800X, all from AMD. And the new Navi GPUs, which he does have an ultra-wide monitor, so he'd probably actually want something, on the level of like an RX Vega 56, so like a 2060 Super, maybe 1660 Ti. If you go in NVIDIA, how the hell did I go up here? It came from over there. I just didn't fall back down. Power slide. If I just fell to my death, that actually wouldn't be so bad, because I'd spawn right here. And all my stuff would be there as well. What is this? It looks like iron. And it's pure, even. What the hell? Why don't I just have another? I'm so tempted, because you can upload your saves and have a map made for you, so you can see where you are and where everything else is. Because I cannot. I want the blip that shows me not on the compass, but the larger map. Sorry, not exactly the larger map, but the world where it's like shows it. I want to see that, and that it just pings in different ways. That's yeah, good time to build computers, potentially. Land prices are also not too bad. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to continue to help my brother. He also may decide that, nah, you know, I'm not gonna stick in the mud. We would probably be fine with just 1 to 6 cores. But for motherboards, and there's actually somebody asking more about it. He wants to go to build, or wants to make a build for Sonic, he was saying. And it's like, yeah, the X570 boards are currently looking to be pretty expensive. But it's builds or it was somebody else that was making the point that X570 may be more expensive than we haven't seen the X370 exclusively boards. That isn't a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing because part of the reason why the X370 and X470 boards were so cheap is because the manufacturers weren't bothering to make them very well. The Intel boards, though, they were taking the time to manufacture. So that's why some of those were so much more expensive. X570, they're fine. Like, totally in on this with them making higher quality boards and a lot more boards. Like, in Computex, they were over 50 now. Or was it? Yeah, I think that it was in total there were over 50 between the few companies, Asus, MSI, Gigabyte, Azeroth. I also think that there was like one company that was announcing on their own 50 versions, 50 motherboards. I don't think that was a 50. That could have been it. They're really going forward on this, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It is somewhat unfortunate, though, that without V550, you don't have a 500 series chipset option that is going to be less expensive. But AM4, you can use potentially an X370 board with a BIOS update, and it'll run the Ryzen 3000 CPUs. You get a B450 board like the MSI B450M mortar I have in the test system. It should be able to handle it fine. That's an M8TX board, though. If you got a full-size board, I see people recommending the Tomahawk, which is basically the full-size version of the mortar. And also the MSI Gaming Pro AC. Is that it? That is another full-size board, but it has a even better VRM. It also has Wi-Fi, which, let me just say, having built-in Wi-Fi is nice. In part because typically that means you also have Bluetooth. So it's like, yeah, that is having the Bluetooth is nice. Actually, all my controllers I use, I plug in. That's for other reasons. Bluetooth hasn't actually been working out like great on my desktop for a while, but that could just, I think it's like a Windows update. It did something to the drive. Because if you want to build, the indie stuff is looking like bigger offerings. Chances are the older the Ryzen 2000 series and the Ryzen 1000 series will see price drops as a result, but also $200 for Ryzen 5 3600 is a good price. Just that's going to be a good price, and we may see that come down in the future. Should see that come down in the future is just nature economics. Yeah, which that's one thing that's interesting to me about the whole Navi coming down in price, because I figured that we would see it come down in price, but it would be later, like more in August or September. Like, hey, back to school, things are dropping. That's when they'd also be permanent price drops, not this. And true, technically, it's possible. It's not gonna happen. How long have I been going? 51 minutes. Okay. I got an idea then. That's what I want. figured it wouldn't be until then that we see prices drop. And then they keep coming. Maybe we're also be interested in seeing what adding more partners do, because there was also a part of me that was thinking, because you don't want to, in my mind at least, it doesn't make sense to this one. One thing, because it just seems weird to drop the price after it's announced but before the product launches. It seems very weird to me. So what would make sense to me to a degree would be if AMD were like, hey, add more partners. When you make your custom cards, you can like use that same MSRP or go lower. I don't know. But hey, there's also been rumors, though, that TSMC's 7nm production is actually doing very, very nicely. So the fact that this price drop, it's like, yeah, this would be coming, because if it's not too expensive to make, then you can reduce the price. But then it's also, but we'll have to see also what happens when we get the theoretical, it's theoretical, 3800. Which those might be more interesting to me. Let's see about getting, even though the sound 1500 is really the performance that I'd be needing to want. It can be nice to have more power than you need, purely so that then you know you can run things at the higher settings. That's what I prefer to do when I can the game. Even though I really have been coming to realize that there's a lot of these options. You can, a lot of times, that the settings can go higher than you realistically need or potentially even want. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Perfect. What do I need for this? Stuff I don't actually see. Yeah, I can. This I will now need for support. And my mind is doing the it's turning off. Because I know I'm not doing that great a job of focused with anything. to show off what I have, what's over here, and also kind of sort of what other things were added. I think I can. It's hard to say with the update. I'm also just thinking, was there anything else in the news people were talking about? My mind has been so scattered. I'm sorry. Nothing is super jumping out at me. Oh yeah, the new display board. Oh yeah, this is my old factory. I saved it here looking that way so I could start assembling. This is my new one that has a fairly good design to it so that these things can get filled, and then once they are filled, but also just as they go, stuff gets split off to make things like pizza rolls. Or yeah, I know this is such a mess, but it's just because I'm trying to have order there and I don't have an order here that it gets screwed. These are the Alcad aluminum sheets, which it's weird. It really is weird. I'm sorry. It's just the bare process is
Milestone reached. A new generation of parts and building upgrades is now available, most of which are aluminum based.
yeah. Yeah, this is one of the things I got ahead of. Aluminum ingots. Making that way, but here's the weird thing. They're used for nothing but making this. I don't know why it exists. I mean, it's just like, who just decided that, no, you know what, we're gonna have these are the other things that are very cute and so I want to set up something, but I don't care. There's some that needs and things I don't ever use in like nuclear power. But yes, I don't understand how can be things except and they're not necessarily intermediate. So it's why. But yeah, so it's started. So yeah, so where I just was right here. This is where that hole was. And I do this. That should get. I might be too far away. Yes. Yeah, that's where I was for the iron such that like where the base is down here. Whereas in this world I started here, then came up here, and we got over here, went down here so I could make the compacted pool, which is all sulfur. Here and here are the boxes that I need to be aluminum quartzes here, which I need for making the aluminum, because it's silica from the quartz with the bauxite to make these ingots, and then it's ingots with copper to make stuff, and that is a source of copper right here. And over here's a second base that has like various other useful things there, and also there's geothermal geysers around. And I've been rebuilding so much. It's part of the reason why placing that is all of the foundations for the main section. That leads off to that second base. I haven't worked on that yet. All of them are along. You can connect here, 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 and there's stuff over here as well. Some poles down. You connect all of those. Actually, well, they all are connected with foundations, and you could just start from one, build out, and just work your way back there, and they're connected. So I just took the time to do that because I am that insane. Actually, should give it that stuff too. Yeah. One thing that helps. All these alternate recipes, especially this one, because how I have that set up here is I have iron being used to make all the wire, all the cable, and then the copper is dedicated just for going to the insulator. So that's actually yeah. They're full on the Alcard. Yeah, Alcard. And these are actually fast to 780 resources per minute. Or this is what I've got because I've got so much of this. I've been taking down here. I should really just stop by now. But trying to get maximum but I also spent the $20 on it. It's like, yeah, this is. I can see it. Yeah. Don't need to save. Don't need to save. Yeah, I got thumbnail, so I can just quit directly. Yeah, so I guess try to recap and maybe have actually positive, good train of thought to it. Navi is getting a price drop. It is the rumor. We'll find out for sure Sunday when it launches. NVIDIA release, well, announced and will be releasing very shortly the first two on July 9th. So Tuesday, the RTX 2060 Super and RTX 2070 Super. The RTX 2080 Super will be coming the end of July. Basically, these cards are like a bump up in power. In performance. They do also draw more power. The pricing hasn't really changed though, so the price to performance ratio has improved. That's basically what the Super series is achieving. If you keep it very basic. Oh yeah, that reminds me of something else. But focus on other things. Focus on this stuff. The F1 2019 review came out. I don't know what review I have next to do, which is kind of nice. Sorry, when you go from literally one review to the next, to the next, to the next. I haven't even finished this one. I already have the key for the next one. It gets a little busy. I know that there was something more. What was it? I don't know why nothing's coming behind, but I'll do this. One thing I saw is that somebody spotted a patent from AMD concerning ray tracing acceleration, and it made it sound like, and I couldn't read it well enough to understand it. Made it sound like their solution for the hardware acceleration is going to be to have a texture processor in the GPU that is capable of doing that's especially capable of some of the acceleration, but is not fixed function like the RT cores are. Now, the reason you would do something like this is that you would want the flexibility of a not fixed function solution, but you still want something special in hardware so that you get a greater acceleration. So, yeah, because the RT cores aren't necessarily going to do anything. In fact, I don't think that they do anything at all when you're not doing ray tracing. So it's just wasted silicon. Whereas if you have these, it was saying texture processors, if those do in fact work in such a way that they can do other things and the ray tracing, then that's cool, because then you're not, I mean, you may not have as much performance when you try and do ray tracing and whatever these texture processors would otherwise be doing, but the silicon can be smaller, so it's going to use less power, and it'll be cheaper. Don't know exactly how this will turn out. We may find out. Maybe that's the Navi 20 chip. Oh, that also reminds me. A Navi 14 chip appeared in some. I think it was Linux code for the Linux support. Which it's like, where did this come from? But yeah, maybe like the big Navi, the 5800, maybe that'll have ray tracing stuff in there, or maybe it'll be whatever. Actually, no, I take that back. We know it's going to be the thing that comes after. The full, it'll be with RDNA 2. That had been said, that the hardware ray tracing will be RDNA 2, which we're assuming means after Navi. But we'll see. We will see what comes. And I should just stop talking. I really should. Should see you next week. Probably will be back in Siege of Centauri, even if there is no update. Just this, there was an update here, so I want to be nice to Satisfactory in that way. And also I just kind of felt like it. And I did have plenty of things to talk about that I couldn't. I mean, true, my focus was crap for this recording anyway. So maybe doing it in Siege of Centauri wouldn't have been that bad. Anyway, see you next time. I need to stop talking.